Thanks. As the race for a vaccine heats up, our CNBC All-America Survey asked Americans if they trust Big Pharma to deliver. Steve Leisman joins us now with the details. Hey, Steve.
Good morning, Joe. Yeah, the CNBC All-America Economic Survey finding that only a bare majority of Americans trust Big Pharma to wait to deliver a vaccine until it's safe and effective. The concerns of key demographic groups create a potential roadblock towards widespread vaccination and adoption of the vaccine. Just 53% of the 800 Americans we surveyed say pharmaceutical companies will only make a vaccine available when safe and effective. 39%, they're concerned that the industry will rush due to political pressure or to profits. Breaking that down, 20% say their concern is that companies are motivated by profits. 12% worried they'll rush because of, first one was profits. Next one is politics, because of politics. 7% say both. Now, looking at it, one big split that's in there along party lines. 62% of Republicans trust Big Pharma when it comes to a vaccine versus just 47% of Democrats. Independents, they match the concern of Democrats. But another big split that's out there, women aged 18 to 49 are among the most skeptical groups when it comes to a coronavirus vaccine. And that's a critical group when it comes to a family's decision about whether or not to take the vaccine. And what's more interesting here is that the differences don't really show up when we ask generally whether the public trusts the pharmaceutical industry. You can see here that the pharmaceutical industry is about average when it comes to the public's trust in a specific industry. 28% say they trust the industry quite a bit or a great deal. Less than online retailers, about even with the financial industry, but above the national news media. Social media, you could see right there, well, they're in the doghouse with the American public. Also, the big takeaway here, I think, is that politicians, government agencies, and industry, they have a lot of work to do to convince the public about the safety of a vaccine and the approval process. And that would appear to be true no matter who wins the election. Becky?
Hey, Steve, I think that number among 18 to 49-year-old women, that almost 60% of them think that this is going to be motivated by politics or by profits. That, to me, is the most stunning number. Did they ask specifically on the poll, does this mean they won't take the vaccine, or they have concerns about this, but they might take the vaccine anyway? Because if that's the case, we might as well just write it off. Even if a vaccine's developed, it's not going to make any difference if you've got almost 60% of women who are making the decisions about their families and whether they'll get these vaccines.
The answer is we did not ask that particular follow-up question, Becky. Getting down to that level of detail on the profits versus politics was about what we could do on this. And whether that translates into not taking the vaccine, that's a different question that we'll ask in a follow-up question. Others have asked it, and there is widespread reluctance in the public about taking the vaccine. This R53% number for the general public is, in fact, even a little bit higher than findings by Pew and findings by Gallup, which are in the 51%. What we wanted to do, what others are not doing, is drill down and see to the extent to which what the cause of that concern is. Is it politics? Is it profits? And then which groups have it? And we were able to do that and then compare that with overall trust in the industry, which is not that bad. There's not a whole lot of trust in industry among the public in general, but we're able to find that the problem is not the concern about the pharmaceutical industry in general. It's all of the talk that's out there. And what we saw is that comments by President Trump moved Democrats more forcefully into the ones who were concerned about it, if you look at some of the trend in the other polls. But yeah, we'll follow up with that in the future as to whether or not that translates into actual reluctance to taking the vaccine.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.